stepping in for a brief moment because we are producing and helping Speak in Style. They got a big event coming up in Dallas, and the star of the show, one of the stars of the show, is Sandra Dee Robinson, and she's in the Dallas area, the Texas area. How's it going today?
Well, it's going pretty good. I'm actually not in my usual location. You don't see my usual background because I am at an event at the lovely, we call it the Pershing. It's a great event center here in Austin. And they're so gracious to just let me use their conference room and their area here while there is a gala going along. And I'm actually going to be going back to the gala. The gala is for a wonderful, my friends are very involved in preventing child trafficking, and the lessons that I've learned today from the panel discussion was just unbelievable. The group is called Not on Our Watch, and it's just, mostly women, but some great, very brave, amazing men that are working on the front lines to prevent this. And I know, Rich, you've had a heart for this for quite a few years. So yes. Yeah, and we talked to them about doing something with you, Rich, and creating something special in the future. So we're going to be doing that. In the meantime, we had a little bit of a glitch with what's going on with our show with Jane today. And so this is what happens. See, Jane and I are doing this live event in Dallas on the 25th of September. And these are called teasers, Speak in Style teasers, you guys, because we're teasing what we're going to be doing. And the event in Dallas is because she's in Australia. I don't know how many people know that. They may know me, but not know Jane. Jane is an award-winning stylist who works with CEOs, and she's just won all kinds of awards and things even just recently. And she's just a love and a dear and works in a lot of ways like I do from the inside out, helping women feel just super empowered in the way they're showing up. And so I said, we've got to do something together. She's coming over not only just to the United States, she's coming to Texas. And so we are putting together this event on the 25th of September for a very, very few ladies. We're making a very small, very intimate event, very kind of, I guess you'd say it like a luxury, bespoke.
Well, 20 people or less at this point because you already got tickets going, promotion going. So it's 20 at the max, and that's it. Yeah. And you're already moving on this.
Well, we are, and it's all about helping women that are speaking for their business. And so we're talking about, and here's the thing: if you're an entrepreneur, especially, you're speaking for your business, okay? Whether you are getting on camera like we're doing right now, doing lives or podcast interviews, whether you're speaking at a local chamber or you're at a networking event or you're pitching your business to somebody to get funding or to even get clients and customers, then you are still speaking for your business. Everybody does. So why not actually get some support? I'm gonna be there helping people with mastering the area of their stage, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce or whether it's a conference hall, right? And Jane is so amazing at helping women feel really comfortable in whatever it is that they are choosing from their closet or building their closet so they can fit them and feel wonderful where they are right now. Not a closet full of, hey, this is one day what I hope to fit back into, or I remember how great this used to be, like actually building something that makes you feel awesome right now, today. And so our goal for that day in September, on the 25th of September in Dallas, is to have ladies walk out feeling absolutely amazing. And so today, Jane and I were going to be getting together and discussing this topic, which we are still going to discuss. Rich, we're doing this next week.
We're going to make it happen.
We are. It's kind of a tough topic. And I've had a day of tough topics talking about, children and sex trafficking and all of that. So it's been a day. But the subject tonight is talking about women who lose their identity crisis. And I've seen this myself, Rich, and maybe you know somebody that's gone through this. I love that we had guys that were signed up for this. There you go. Okay, so we may have a couple folks that are watching. So, I love the fact that guys signed up to watch this, because if you know a lady that is going through a transition in her life, there's some folks that have come to me, and I've noticed that a lot of women that have gone through divorce, losing a job, getting a job, starting a company, having their kids go off to college, they're changing their identity. And it seems like, okay, it's just life, deal with it. But it can really affect the way you show up in the world, at least for women. And so, getting a divorce is something that I've seen a lot of women come in and they don't really have a foundation underneath them anymore. And so to show up in business, to show up in life, and feel great is a challenge. And so that's one of the reasons that Jane and I are looking to do this event in Dallas in September on the 25th, is so that we can actually help people, feel awesome and show up well right where they are at this point in their life, regardless of what has happened to them in the past, to really feel awesome and powerful and fearless where they are. And And so today was going to be, and it is going to be our topic for next week, because we have to get Jane on board. We have to get our timing correct. We had a few glitches with LinkedIn. And so we were scheduled at 2 different times. So we have a little chaos that's going on at the moment.
But let me ask you just really quickly, because it is a great topic. The identity crisis happens to men, happens to women. You're focusing on women, but do you think women leaders, executive entrepreneurs, the way that you deal with them, do you think they're even aware of that? So it kind of hits them in the face and they realize what's going on?
Yeah, I found that mostly the women that I work with are outwardly very successful.
Yes.
You know, they'll be driving the nice cars, they're living in a lovely place, and all that kind of stuff. And then what I discover is that they have something on the inside that is actually holding them back. So it sounds so cliche to say their potential, but their potential to really create change at that particular point in their life, and say they're 40 up. Okay. Like I just left a room, quite honestly, there were 40 and up, mostly female. This room was so full of power that we're talking about ending sex trafficking for children. And the room was like, yes. When there was a gentleman that got up, he was awesome, a former congressman. He got up and he said, you know, I learned from my grandmother, when a woman sets her mind on something, ain't nothing stopping her.
Don't mess with drama.
Like, you know yeah. And that's how it should be. That's how you should feel. But when something happens that undermines the confidence, then especially getting in the spotlight, speaking up about your business, asking for more becomes a burden. It becomes difficult. And so that's one of the reasons, like I noticed this working with women, and so did Jane. And so we're like, you know, why don't we just put together something that's specifically about this? And today's conversation was just part of what's leading up to our event in Dallas. So yeah, I do think that there are some things that we can do. There's awareness. In fact, if it's happening to somebody that's watching right now, that they're feeling like, yeah, I really feel like crap, I don't feel like showing up. I'd rather sit at home behind the computer than to be out speaking about my business, then I think it's absolutely crucial that we have the conversation around that, saying it is not abnormal. It's actually human to be able to, you know, to feel that way, to acknowledge that you feel that way, and then work on some like emotional regulation. And also just the fact that like we can do something like the branding process that I have. If you sign up for the event in September, one of the bonuses, you get several bonuses, and one of them is my branding assessment, personal branding. So what that does is it shows you what other people love about you. And that's such a valuable thing, because when you're feeling like you don't know where your foundation is, to go through this assessment. And I just did it yesterday with a client, and she goes, oh my gosh, this is exactly who I am. And I saw her shoulders go back, and I saw her stand up, like that power that I just saw in the room over there, you know? And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's it. I gave her a statement of her unique brilliance, because that brilliance is changing as you move through the transitions in life. And it's super powerful. And just know where you are, know what people love about you, and be able to step forward with that. Yeah, I mean, that's the journey of life, right? Things change. There's transitions, there's illnesses, there's job losses, there's just changes, there's, you know, family adjustments, there's all kinds of things that happen. But to be able to be reminded of your greatness and actually step into that is something that we're really looking for.
Well, so that's what I want to highlight here for a second. Again, here's the QR code. You want to check out, it's live in person. It's one day in Dallas, but you're going to get into your presence, your confidence. You're going to get into your personal brand, your style, but also fitness and being ready to go. You're going to also get into the content, the audience, and knowing how to engage. You're going to really get into some serious meat and potatoes.
Yeah, we are. And I can see I'm a little glitchy, so I'm hoping that I'm coming across.
You're coming along absolutely great.
Okay, because I am on, you know, borrowed internet. I'm not in my usual space, and so we took our chances here. But yeah, all of those things are going to be covered. Our goal, really, for Jane and I, is for these lives as well, right? Is to be able to give women and the men that love them the support that they need to be able to step into, or remember. I like to say remember their strengths and how great they are. Because there are always going to be things that undermine. I mean, I was just sitting in, like I said, you know, today in this conversation called Not on Our Watch. We were talking about, you know, ways that we can combat the massive 20 billion industry of child pornography and trafficking. It's just mind blowing. The numbers today were mind blowing. And to know that we have the power to be able to do that, we have the power to be able to create our own dreams and lives that as we want them to be. But we have to be able to step into the fullness of who we are in order to do any of these things. And looking at that room today of women and seeing some of them were ready to go and some of them were still working up the energy to stand in who they are. We want to work with the ladies that are working up the energy, that know it's there and really want to excel and move forward and do something incredible. That's who I'm looking to work with.
Well,
and we'll do it, and they'll do it.
Again, this is a one-day event, limited space. It's going to be capped at 20. There's already people plugging in, connecting to this. Can you kind of give them the time of from what time do you begin to what time do you end? Kind of just
we're doing an afternoon. Yeah, and we'll make it really quick. And I don't want to keep anybody too long, but yeah, we're going to be doing an afternoon on the 25th. So it gives you time if you have to drive or fly to Dallas. You can fly in the morning. We're going from, I think it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or 12 noon to 4 o'clock. And then we're going to move down to the lobby area. If anybody can stay, they're more than welcome to stay. And we're going to go down and kind of socialize, have final conversations, do a little networking down in the bar area there of that building, because we're going to be in the Lincoln Center, which is the heart of Dallas. And if you need to stay over, there's actually, I think it's a Hyatt attached in that same building. So everything is all inclusive and it's really close to the airport. So if you do need to fly in, it's quite easy. And that's what we're looking to do. So in a matter of a few hours, we're looking to really change your life and change your world. And we'll do follow up coaching, both Jane and I, with you. So we're not going to leave you hanging. If there's any questions or anything that you want to work out, we're going to do Q&A sessions afterwards, and just make sure that everybody's taken care of and they're complete.
People might get the QR code, but they also might want to have questions for you. Is there an easy email address to connect with you to get clarification stuff?
Yeah, I laugh because my email is long, but it's really easy. It's Sandra at SandraDeeRobinson.com. So it's my name.com. Sandra at SandraDeeRobinson.com. You can always reach me through LinkedIn or wherever I'm streaming right now for you. You can reach me via message on Facebook, LinkedIn, even Instagram, YouTube. I got to be honest, I'm not looking there so often for messages. So I would say message me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook. That would be really
Sandra at SandraDeeRobinson.com.
Yeah.
So,
and thank you, Rich, for helping us to produce these and Rock the Stage Media. Thank you so much. We're going to be doing more with you in the future, particularly even as I talked to the ladies today around the topic of conversation of the gala that I'm in. So
yeah, there's a lot about my past about that you don't even know about. There's a deep connection that goes into all that. So I'm really excited to support that, help that. And you and Jane have some great stuff coming up. We are going to get Jane back on. We are going to have the real part 2 teaser. We will have a part 3 teaser, and then you guys are going to rock and roll it down in Dallas.
We are. So we're going to be here next week, same time. Jane will be here, and we'll make sure that everybody is on board and everything is working well and no technical glitches or whatever have you. We're going to be all 100% on next week. But do follow us, give us a follow for Jane and for me, anywhere that we are here. If it's on LinkedIn, it's Facebook, you can follow me either personally, Sandra Dee Robinson, or Coach Sandra Dee. And Instagram, look for me. It's kind of funny there. My handle is me. I'm Sandra Dee, like the song from Greece that tortured me growing up. I decided to just go ahead and use it.
Sandra Dee Robinson, this is great. Again, the big event coming up live in Dallas. We'll be back next week with Jane and Sandra to give you more insights, and they will dig into the topic they promised to bring you. But grumblings happen, and we're still smiling, and we're going to bring it back to you next week anyways.
All right.
Thanks for being here, Sandra.
Thanks for being here.